All Recipes member Prego Cook shared this recipe for Costa's French Market donuts or beignets, which she describes as tender, pillow-like donuts covered in powdered sugar that are popular in Creole cuisine. With this recipe, she swears you no longer have to make a special trip to New Orleans to get a taste of the real thing. Let's get started by pouring half a cup of room temperature water, about 70 degrees, into a small bowl. Sprinkle 1 tablespoon of yeast over the water and let it stand for 5 minutes to dissolve. Meanwhile, put a 1/4 cup of shortening into a large bowl and add half a cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. Combine these ingredients. Then add 1 cup of boiling water and 1 cup of evaporated milk. Stir the ingredients together and let them cool down to lukewarm. Meanwhile, crack 2 eggs into a small bowl and lightly beat them. Add the eggs to the shortening mixture and the yeast. Slowly add 7½ cups of flour, mixing as you go until the dough forms into a ball. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and refrigerate for 30 minutes to an hour. When the dough is chilled, working in batches, take a little more dough than a baseball. You'll get about 12 pieces from each portion. Roll the dough out on a lightly floured work surface to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Using a pastry cutter or a large knife, square the edges then cut the dough into strips 2 to 3 inches wide. Then cut the dough in the opposite direction at an angle to make diamond shapes. This recipe makes a large quantity, so unless you're feeding a crowd, All Recipes member Kelly suggests freezing the cut dough in a container stacked with a little flour and waxed paper between to prevent it from sticking. She thaws them in the refrigerator the night before, and they're ready to fry up in the morning. To fry the beignets, place a quart of vegetable oil into a deep and wide, heavy-bottomed skillet or pot over medium-high heat. Heat the oil to 360 degrees. Slide the cut dough carefully into the oil to avoid splattering. Work in batches of 4 to 5 beignets at a time so the oil doesn't cool. The beignets will puff up and turn golden brown. Turn the beignets once with a pair of tongs so that they cook evenly, about 3 minutes total time. Remove the beignets and place them on a cooling rack set over paper towels. Continue to work in batches, keeping a close eye on the oil temperature. Too cool and the beignets won't puff. Too hot and they'll brown and spot easily. When the beignets are cool enough to handle, place them in a clean paper bag. Add enough confectioner's sugar to coat them and give them a good shake. You can also use a sifter, but it's not nearly as much fun. Enjoy these beignets for breakfast or an afternoon treat the traditional way, with a rich cup of coffee or café au lait. For some added flavor, All Recipes member Spark Princess suggests tossing cinnamon in with the powdered sugar or serving them with jelly on the side.